As Vice-Chancellor of the University of Leicester, I declare this congregation open for the conferring of degrees by the authority of the Senate and the Council. My Lord Mayor, High Sheriff, parents, friends and graduands, I am delighted to welcome you all to this degree congregation. It is a celebration for all those who graduate today. We celebrate your many achievements that culminate in a degree from a major international research and teaching-led university. While you have been with us, the university has developed and changed. We are now a community of 19,000 students and 3,000 staff with a turnover of £150 million. It all demonstrates that universities are complex organisations. We deal with a range of activities. First, leading-edge research in a range of areas. This year, our Department of Genetics was one of 20 institutions to win the Queen's Anniversary Prize for Higher and Further Education. As many of you will know, our physics department has worked with the physics department in the Open University on the Beagle 2 project, which is designed to discover whether there is life on Mars. One thing you can be sure of: if there is, we shall start signing them up for degrees with the University of Leicester. In the social sciences, Lorna Unwin and Alan Felsted from Labour Market Studies have won a grant worth over £1 million to look at teaching and learning in the contemporary work organisation. Certainly, research is fundamental to the life of the university, and it is research that informs the second area that I want to refer to, but they are interdependent with each other. Research and teaching actually interact with each other. That makes the key characteristic of a leading university. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Think about the experience you've had here over the years you've been studying with us. To demonstrate the importance that we give to teaching, we have awarded teaching fellowships to staff across the university where they are delivering innovative teaching to our students. Secondly, there are two £500,000 projects led by Professor Stuart Peterson in medicine and Dr. Derek Rain in physics that involve investigations on teaching methods and curricula that will not only inform those subject areas, but also inform the higher education system in the UK. Thirdly, I think a university needs to contribute to the community through cultural activity. And this is demonstrated by our work with schools, teachers, pupils and parents in the inner city with a view to broadening access, a topic to which this university is highly committed. Our Richard Attenborough Centre for Disability in the Arts has attracted a wide range of audiences to exhibitions and innovative concerts featuring winners of the Young Musician of the Year competition. Our Botanic Garden currently features a 49-piece international sculpture exhibition from 35 artists located in 13 countries. The exhibition opened last Saturday and runs until mid-September. I hope while you are with us this week, you will take the opportunity to visit it. The list of activities could be endless and emphasises why it is difficult to address questions about the shape and style of universities. Yet during this year, we witnessed the start of a major national debate about the higher education system in the UK. Fundamental questions were raised about research, learning, teaching, and access. In all this, we need to consider what kind of university do we intend to be. Change is inevitable, but we need to build on activities where we are excellent. In Leicester, this will mean several things: developing our contribution to the local and regional economy, generating further research grant and contract income to maintain our position among the leading universities in the UK, delivering teaching that is closely linked to research and evaluated by peers as excellent. Widening access, widening participation, developing new foundation degrees. These are all things we need to continue to build and develop. Establishing strategic alliances with higher and further education comes very firmly on the agenda. Already we have a network of 14 institutions and are about to develop a special partnership with Bishop Grosseteste College in Lincoln and Newman College in Birmingham, whose courses we will validate from September, so they too will get University of Leicester degrees. Finally, thinking about ways in which we can continue to develop higher education, we need to think about the development of our successful distance learning programme. These days, 6,000 students study with us by distance learning. And if parents and friends would like their own University of Leicester degree, please don't hesitate. We can sign you up today and you can start work on the degree programme next week. The University of Leicester has been rated a top 20 institution by the Financial Times and the Sunday Times over the last 3 years. We have much to contribute locally, regionally, nationally and internationally. Finally, I would like to congratulate you on the degrees that you have all obtained. The class of 2003 has raised the standard even higher. We hope you will keep in touch with the university, and I shall look forward to seeing you at alumni events. But before I close, I would like you to join me in showing your appreciation to your parents, relatives, friends and sponsors who have supported you through the university. So I would now ask the graduating class of 2003 to join me in a round of applause. And of course, it's a warm-up to see how well you can do this. So congratulations and thank you very much. That's very good, but the arts faculty could do better last year, and you won't want to be beaten by the arts faculty, so I'll rely on you to clap louder and longer as the day goes on. Have an enjoyable day, applaud your fellow students, and all good wishes to you in your future careers.
It has been said that one of the signs of growing old is an increasing interest in the obituary pages of the press. If this be true, then I am growing old. The newspaper obituary that appears in the pages of the broadsheet press is a minor art form that seems to have been developed further in England than elsewhere. Nowhere but in England does one find the mixture of information, analysis, and entertainment that characterises a good Times or Telegraph obituary. Nor does one find the eclectic mix of characters commemorated. Bishops and businessmen, peers and politicians, of course, but also eccentric military men, antisocial innkeepers, and Soho writers whose intake of alcohol greatly exceeded their output of literature. Mr. Antony Howard was obituaries editor of The Times from 1993 until he retired in 1999. He is an outstanding example of the class, providing as much information and more entertainment than many of his colleagues on the Thunderer. Of course, an obituaries editor has one major advantage over other journalists and university orators in that his subjects are not there to complain. It is rare, however, for errors of facts to occur, a tribute to the ability of the obituary editor. It is also rare for an obituary to appear whilst its subject is still alive, and this is a further tribute to the very high level of efficiency of the obituary editor. Although my ill-regulated imagination conjures up a picture of Mr. Howard realising his blunder as the time goes to press and rushing down to the Houses of Parliament or wherever armed with a loaded revolver. Antony Howard was born in London in 1934 and educated at Westminster School in Christchurch, Oxford. He was president of the Oxford Union in 1955. He originally intended to be a barrister, passing the bar finals and being called to the bar by the Inner Temple in 1956. However, national service then intervened, and he spent the next 2 years as a second lieutenant in the Royal Fusiliers. During this time, he wrote, contrary to regulations, some pieces on the life of a national serviceman, and so discovered the joys of journalism. He has been a prominent denizen of Grub Street ever since. He started on the now-defunct Reynolds News before moving to the then Manchester Guardian and thence to the New Statesman, also spending time in the United States on a Harkness Fellowship. During the 1970s, he was first assistant editor and then editor of the New Statesman. From 1979 to 1981, he edited The Listener, a fine and much lamented weekly published by the BBC. He was deputy editor of The Observer between 1981 and 1988. Mr. Howard is also well known as a broadcaster, reporting for BBC TV News and Panorama and presenting Face the Press for Channel 4. Now, the work of a journalist, whether in print or on television, is immediate and timely, but largely transient. Mr. Howard is also a significant author of books of biography and political analysis. He published his first book, written with Richard West, in 1965. The Making of the Prime Minister is a study of Harold Wilson and the processes by which a party leader is chosen in the UK. It is in the preface to that book that he describes himself as a lazy supporter of the Labour Party, although laziness is not apparent in any other part of his life. He edited a selection of the Crossman Diaries, which were published in 1979, and followed these with a biography of Richard Crossman in 1990. Crossman was a personal friend who had been his predecessor as editor of the New Statesman. He also wrote The Official Life of R.A. Butler, published in 1987. In both of these biographies, he writes, "I chose to prefer contemporary documentary evidence to personal memory. This preference may be a result of his early training as a lawyer, or to hard and painful experience as a journalist, or perhaps just a native caution. Whatever the origin of the preference, it is one that all political writers should consider carefully, particularly in these days of spin." He has recently shifted his attention to a different sphere of life and is currently working on the official life of the late Cardinal Basil Hume, Archbishop of Westminster. Antony Howard is an outstanding example of the highest traditions of British journalism and political analysis. His abilities have been recognised by the official world, by whom he was awarded a CBE in 1997. It is a great pleasure for us to be able to welcome him and honour him here today. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, on the recommendation of the Senate and of the Council, I present Antony Michel Howard, that you may confer on him the Honorary Degree of Doctor of Letters.
Congratulations. I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Letters and welcome you among us. Many congratulations.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, my Lord Mayor, High Sheriff. It was, I think, Queen Victoria's first Prime Minister, Lord Melbourne, who once famously remarked that the great thing about being made a Knight of the Garter was that there was no damn merit about it. I have to confess, though here I must take speaking entirely for myself and not for the distinguished ex-editor of The Guardian, that I have rather the same feeling about receiving this honorary doctorate of letters this morning. All the nicest things in life, it has long seemed to me, come as surprises. And that was certainly true for me and I've since learnt for Peter Preston as well, when the crested envelope from the University of Leicester bearing the invitation to come here today fluttered through my letterbox way back in the middle of last winter. It's a signal honour that you've done us both today, and we're particularly sensitive to it, as we fully appreciate that for virtually everyone assembled here this morning, degrees represent protracted effort, wholehearted dedication, and increasing and unceasing application. It is a measure of your generosity that you should be prepared to give away, free, gratis, and for nothing, the self-same prefixes and suffixes that you yourselves have worked so hard to earn. Since I started by mentioning one 19th century figure, I'll finish by invoking the name of one more, that of another great Victorian, Father Stanton, St Albans, Holborn. He so disapproved of those, including the Queen, who always classified the improvident into two categories, those who deserved help and those who didn't, that when he died, he made one defiant last stand. In his will, he was discovered to have left his not inconsiderable fortune to the undeserving poor. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I feel rather like one of Father Stanton's beneficiaries here this morning, and so I'm sure, if in a grander way, does Dr. Peter Preston. But it's a great honour that you've done us both, and we each feel deeply in debt to Leicester University. Who knows, you may even have inspired us one day to go and do some real work in order to qualify for a proper degree, the likes of yours. But meanwhile, I shall cherish and clutch hold of this scroll and feel inordinately proud of having it. Thank you all so much.
The graduands in the Faculty of the Social Sciences will be presented by the Dean, Professor Jackson. Will all graduands in the faculty please stand?
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I ask you to admit these candidates from the Faculty of the Social Sciences to the several degrees for which they are presented.
Graduates of the Faculty of the Social Sciences, by the authority of the Senate, I admit you to the several degrees for which you are presented.
For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Samira Ahmed.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations.
Hanan Ashi.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Arts in Mass Communications, Michael Best. Warren Brett. Marilyn Chalkley. Kirsty Crawford. Desmond Davies. Beatrice Gatt. Martin Hadlow. Irene Kamba Maltesopoulos. Seema Kiddy.
Congratulations.
Anand Luxemon.
Congratulations.
Jane McElligott.
Congratulations.
Julian Mounter.
Congratulations.
Sharon Ridley.
Congratulations.
Laura Thomas.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Iman Al Husseini.
Congratulations.
Abdullah Al Amri.
Congratulations.
Mosla Al Bahari.
Congratulations.
Masaki Ioto.
Congratulations.
Kingsley Bean.
Congratulations.
Philippe Bishop.
Congratulations.
Budaman Budalato.
Congratulations.
Suzanne Carr.
Congratulations.
Jeffrey Chatter.
Congratulations.
Teresa Chatfield.
Congratulations.
Isabel Chirkup.
Congratulations.
Hui Chen Harriet Chu.
Congratulations.
Sandra Corrie.
Congratulations.
Trevor Curry.
Congratulations.
Ian Dayton.
Congratulations.
Ebook.
Congratulations.
Ishak El Hawani.
Well done. Congratulations.
Konstantinos Frangiadakopoulos.
Congratulations. Well done.
Michael Griffin.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Joseph Grimmer.
Congratulations.
Maki Hashikawa.
Congratulations.
Robertus Franciscus Hermanus Hermendela.
Congratulations.
Hao Tai Jenny Huang.
Congratulations.
Mikio Ide.
Congratulations.
Anusha Il Peruma.
Congratulations.
Mark Jones.
Congratulations.
Ming J. Kang.
Congratulations.
George Karageorges.
Congratulations.
Sabine Nebel.
Congratulations.
Pao Fang Lei.
Congratulations.
Alexandros Lambardias.
Congratulations.
Martin Lampner.
Congratulations.
Sue Lau.
Congratulations.
Malcolm Lawrence.
Congratulations.
Chi Ming Lee.
Congratulations.
Sandra Lilly.
Congratulations.
Suk Lang Susanna Low.
Congratulations. Well done.
Nigel Low.
Congratulations.
Fiona Macaulay.
Congratulations.
Thomas Macasio.
Congratulations.
Jaya Seelan Manikam.
Congratulations.
William Laladra Dave Morris.
Congratulations.
Majod Minon.
Congratulations.
Hideki Nakagawa.
Congratulations.
Kiyoshi Nango.
Congratulations.
Gloria Indo Mugabe.
Congratulations.
Bertha Ung.
Congratulations.
Navnit Patel. Joan Peters. Margaret Pilat. Saeed Ramon. Maria Reid. Karsten Risgaard. Thomas Sazanga Hadi. Sue Tovey. P. Chen Siu. Nigel Tucker. Angelos Varnava. Dennis Warner. Paul Westgate. Elizabeth Whitefield. Kosala Vikram Isengi. Chin Yan. Ka Men Jenny Yu. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Employee Relations, Yanis Charalau. Nuni Garabayan. Antigone Katsiaridi. Grace Kavulavu. Danny Liedners. Rebecca Nicoledou. Jill O'Connell. Alison Ragsdale. Rashid Syed. For the degree of Master of Business Administration Finance, El Bagir Abdul Rahman. Ernest Aboagi. Emmanuel Abrokwa. Alice Aji Mensa. Eva Adu. Charles Abdubofor. Lawrence Aginsom. Percy Amuyanki. Mohammed Salim Arshad. Reinhold Asamoah Frimpong. Salah Abubakar Babiton. George Karu Bosman. Kolawole Madushira Brema. Shawana Brisbane. Lin Kai. Fatu Sise. David Morris Chamberlain. Karalambus Karalambu. Yunchin Phyllis Chen. John Chu. Gustav Cruikshank. Samuel Dako. Vera Darkwa. Peter Ghibli Jabang. Kumar Dripal. Biker Erbakar,
Congratulations.
Jai Pei Hugh,
Congratulations.
Geoffrey Hutchison,
Congratulations.
Al Tayeb Haj Maki Ibrahim,
Congratulations.
Josephine Kayaga Smga Magoa,
Congratulations.
Williams Wabena Kwai,
Congratulations.
Leon Yo Lee,
Congratulations.
Yu Chin Lee,
Congratulations.
Sylvester Adnam Mensah,
Congratulations.
Zachariah Mubeli Mulenga,
Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Nadim,
Congratulations. Well done.
Kofi Nursam,
Congratulations. Well done.
Karhen New,
Congratulations.
Abji Jones Ntiamoa,
Congratulations. Well done.
Eric Obeng,
Congratulations.
Gilbert Otto Ose Olomeli,
Congratulations. Well done.
George Papanikolu,
Congratulations. Well done.
Elise Perro,
Congratulations. Well done.
Mohammed Anas Sadim,
Congratulations. Well done.
Benti Nana Kofi Sarpong,
Congratulations.
Mohammed Namis Syed Ibrahim,
Congratulations.
Derek Wright Hansen,
Congratulations.
Sin Ying Wu,
Congratulations.
Abu Zayed Zachariah,
Congratulations. Well done.
for the degree of Master of Business Administration, Information Technology Management, Sylvia Amofakra,
Congratulations. Well done.
Leonard Donkor,
Congratulations. Well done.
Samar Abdullah Mustafa,
Congratulations.
Mark Warner,
Congratulations. Well done.
for the degree of Master of Business Administration, Maritime Management, Dinos Kinigos,
Congratulations. Well done.
Anthony Longdon,
Congratulations. Well done.
for the degree of Master of Business Administration, Marketing, Khalid Al Sawa,
Congratulations. Well done.
Sylvia Abankwa,
Congratulations.
Rosan Alwe,
Congratulations.
Gloria Amponsa,
Congratulations. Well done.
Priscilla Abigail Asumanu,
Congratulations. Well done.
Patricia Boche,
Congratulations. Well done.
Jennifer Bush,
Congratulations.
Helen Chan,
Congratulations.
B. Lee Chun,
Congratulations.
Tamar Fathi,
Congratulations. Well done.
Rajiv Dripal,
Congratulations.
Ursula Franklin,
Congratulations.
Simon Heath.
Congratulations.
Michael Hobson.
Congratulations.
Matthew Paul Ibbott.
Congratulations.
Patricia Kojakuma.
Congratulations.
Mika Koyama.
Congratulations.
Mai Fang Lei.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Donna Lung.
Congratulations.
Alice Kisembo Masakreka.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Gavin Ogg.
Congratulations. Well done.
Magdalene Ol Socrates Petsaga.
Congratulations. Well done.
Sujith Poname Peruma Vijay Rathna.
Congratulations.
Nicholas Rex Porter.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Arub Renawi.
Congratulations. Well done.
Gilden Saragolu.
Congratulations.
Anna Shipili.
Congratulations. Well done.
Wee Min Tan.
Congratulations.
Ivy Tetley.
Congratulations.
Chong Hing Tin.
Congratulations.
Emilia Sorapi.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Mi Yu Chu.
Congratulations. Well done.
Ashar Basha Vazir.
Congratulations.
Wen Yang Wang.
Congratulations.
Alison Watson.
Congratulations.
Shun Chun Virginia Wei.
Congratulations.
Michelle West Wiggins.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Candy Wong.
Congratulations. Well done.
Hoi Yun William Wong.
Congratulations. Well done.
Peter Preston is one of the most highly regarded journalists in the UK. In a career that has taken him from provincial newspaper to editorship of major broadsheets, he has played a significant role in defining the shape of the serious media as we know them today. A local man, Peter was born in Barrow-on-Soar and grew up in Quorn. A happy childhood was cruelly disturbed at the age of 10, when both he and his father fell victim to one of the last great epidemics of polio. Sadly, Peter's father died, and Peter himself was critically ill for some time before making a slow, partial recovery. The disruption to his schooling left him way behind, but with the sympathetic support of his teachers, his natural talents soon shone through. Still, it was suggested to him that he left school at 16 to become, of all things, a jewel cutter. He had the good sense to ignore this advice, however, and persist with his studies, doing so well that he easily gained a place to read English at Oxford. Whilst at school, Peter developed an interest in conjuring and joined the local magic circle. The president, a butcher from Colville, impressed by Peter's learning, asked him to write a column for their magazine, sowing the seeds of his career as a journalist. Despite being sacked after 6 months, being too controversial, it seems, Peter realised that writing was a career that would suit his circumstances well. He characteristically asserts that in many ways his illness did him a favour,
by narrowing down his options and making the choice of career much easier. Once at Oxford, his career as a magician came to a sticky end at a disastrous performance in a freezing church hall, but his career as a journalist bloomed vigorously. He began with a twice-weekly contribution to the student paper and progressed rapidly to become editor. He also edited the Oxford Guardian and became active in politics, joining the Liberal Club, gaining experience that would prove invaluable later. From Oxford, he joined a prestigious newspaper training scheme with the Liverpool Daily Post, where he cut his teeth as a journalist and met characters that acted as role models for the rest of his career. He thrived on the hard work and long hours, discovering a particular talent for leader writing, which proved exceptionally useful as his career progressed. He moved from Liverpool to a job with The Guardian, still at that time conducting much of its business in Manchester. He progressed through a variety of roles, first in Manchester, then later in London, particularly enjoying his time covering a range of political issues, including a number of famous by-elections. He took opportunities to work overseas, reporting troubles in Ghana, Cyprus, and the Indo-Pakistani War. A period covering education was followed by a spell as a diary editor, covering the gossip and scandals of the day. By this stage, the paper and Peter had moved completely to London, but was still struggling. Peter led a major development as features editor, changing the character of the paper in ways that have been copied widely. He realized by now that the editorship was within his potential, so he spent a period in the back room, working in production, so that he would understand the newspaper business in all its complexity. His commitment and planning paid off, and he became editor of The Guardian in 1975. Peter took on a paper with continuing financial and other problems, and in a period of 20 years turned it round to its present success. He led the move into new London offices and steered the paper with consummate skill through the fraught times of introducing new technology. He introduced a wide range of initiatives, including the now universally copied tabloid second section, and the merger of The Guardian and The Observer into a single organisation. His reign was characterised by sensitive leadership of massive change, and he left in 1995 an organisation that has gone from strength to strength. He is now co-director of the Guardian Foundation, an organisation dedicated to the support of journalists and journalism around the world. He travels widely to promote the activities of the foundation, but continues his weekly columns in The Guardian and The Observer with a series of insightful and witty commentaries on a huge range of topics. Peter Preston's name on a piece guarantees quality, breadth of ideas, clarity of expression, and a style that many seek to emulate but few succeed. With consummate skill, he continues to stimulate the reflection and debate that are the bedrock of a fair and open society, the true test of a true journalist. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, on the recommendation of the Senate and the Council, I present to you Peter John Preston, that you may confer upon him the degree of Doctor of Letters.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Letters and welcome you among us. Many congratulations.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, Lord Mayor, High Sheriff, I only want to say three things very briefly. One is to say that when people give you an honour like this, for which you're deeply grateful, it's always better when it's coming home in a way. This is my county, this is my county town, county city, and I'm deeply touched to be back here at a ceremony which is so international and so moving in that way. 40 years ago when I left Leicester, it wasn't an international city. Now it is. It's mixed, it's vibrant, it's vital, it's so much improved. Second thing I wanted to say was it's good to be back in the De Montfort Hall. The last time I was here was 1956 on Louis Armstrong's farewell tour. I always thought I'd like to be a jazz star at that moment, but at least I have a sort of mini-starring role rather after the event, but I'm still grateful for that. And the third thing to say, perhaps on behalf of Antony Howard and myself, is that the orator very reasonably, I thought, touched on the fact that working in journalism, editing it can be for 90% of the time a slog, a real hard work, tedium, routine, problems all day long. It's not a glamorous job 99% of the time. But just occasionally, if you're Tony, or if, with luck, you're me, you do something which makes a small difference to an individual case or to a bigger case, and you know that you're part of a bigger world. And I think you see that every day. You've seen it this week in terms of the debate, whichever side you're on, about weapons of mass destruction. It's the press, it's broadcasting, it's journalism there, turning over those stones, raising those questions. And that's really what makes the job, I think, so special. 99% tedium, 1% something different, the ability to make a difference. Thank you very much, Vice-Chancellor. You've made a difference to my day, I can tell you, and I'm very much obliged to you for this honour. Thank you.
The remaining graduands in the faculty will now be presented by the Dean, Professor Jackson.
Mr. Pro-Vice-Chancellor, for the degree of Master of Business Administration, Supply Chain Management, Pamela Ohonde. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Total Quality Management, Faisal Abdullah Al-Nazawi. Barry Knott. Nikolaos Moutsakis.
Many congratulations.
Kwok Hong Paul Ng.
Very many congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Finance, Kenneth Burton Atagonza.
Very well done. Many congratulations.
Evangelos Evangelides.
Many congratulations. Well done.
Kamal Gagda.
Many congratulations. Well done.
Mita Thakra.
Many congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Management of Quality Excellence, Barry Reynolds Catlin.
Well done. Many congratulations.
Tim Meehan.
Many congratulations.
Matthew Saxton.
Many congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Marketing, David Attard.
Many congratulations.
Charles Isa.
Very many congratulations.
Georgia Bikra.
Very many congratulations.
Evelyn Cheong.
Many congratulations.
Shi Wei Huang.
Many congratulations.
Clara Lam.
Congratulations.
Chin Liang.
Congratulations.
Yu Okura.
Many congratulations.
Nicoletta Slavu.
Congratulations.
Ian Smith.
Congratulations, Ian.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Economics, Zahid Asghar.
Many congratulations.
Matthew Ashby.
Congratulations, Matthew.
Edem Beta.
Very many congratulations.
Paul Barrett.
Congratulations.
David Carlill.
Congratulations.
Oliver Close.
Congratulations.
Paul Dewsnap.
Well done. Congratulations.
Matthew Ingham.
Congratulations.
Jagrup Kaur.
Many congratulations.
Matthew Knight.
Well done, Matthew. Congratulations.
Chun Pong Lei.
Well done. Congratulations.
James Mitchell.
Congratulations.
Mika Mwenchanya.
Many congratulations.
Anthony O'Connor.
Well done. Congratulations.
Gurmaj Pawar.
Congratulations.
Andrew Peach.
Supporters here. Congratulations.
Vijay Pisavadia.
Congratulations.
Diane Rimmer.
Congratulations.
Matthew Rooney.
Congratulations.
Sharanjit Sandhu.
Congratulations.
Christopher Shenfield.
Well done. Congratulations.
Donna Simpson.
Congratulations.
Matthew Simpson.
Congratulations. Well done.
Carolyn Smith.
Well done. Congratulations.
Thomas Swadling.
Congratulations.
Sunita Vaswani.
Congratulations.
Michael Wilmot.
Congratulations.
Grace Wilson.
Congratulations.
Christopher Williscroft.
Many congratulations. Well done.
Jonathan Wright.
Well done. Congratulations.
Xi Zhu Zhu.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Economics with a year in Europe, Helen Maguire.
Well done. Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Economics, Yawande Adelye.
Well done. Congratulations.
Thomas Allen.
Congratulations.
Paul Backhurst.
Congratulations.
Ajay Bala.
Congratulations.
Matthew Burton.
Well, Matthew, congratulations.
Sandeep Chahal.
Congratulations. Your supporters are here.
Y. Kit Chan.
Congratulations.
Yun Ching Chun.
Congratulations.
Andrew Cooper.
Congratulations.
Alex Critchell.
Well done. Congratulations.
Stuart Cullinan.
Congratulations. Well done.
Alberto De Lorenzo.
Well done. Congratulations.
Lisa Dinning.
Congratulations.
Christopher Donnell.
Well done. Congratulations.
Tassos Elefethru.
Congratulations.
Nicholas Evans.
Nicholas, congratulations.
Ryan Everett.
Congratulations.
Brian Godfrey.
Congratulations.
Harish Haridus,
Congratulations. Well done.
Guy Ching Ho,
Congratulations.
Yik Su Hung,
Congratulations.
David Inwood,
Congratulations.
Peng Jiang,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Oliver Carroll,
Well done. Congratulations.
Matthew Kendrick,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Adib Kelef,
Congratulations.
Ming Yu Kwan,
Congratulations.
Kai Man Lee,
Congratulations.
Wei Ting Yang,
Congratulations.
Stuart Mason,
Well done, sir.
Tristan Maw,
Congratulations.
Peter McCarthy,
Many congratulations.
Emma McHugh,
Congratulations.
David Meehan,
Congratulations.
Ranjita Mohal,
Congratulations.
Gulid Mohammed,
Congratulations.
Fozia Mughal,
Congratulations.
Sarah Namwanji,
Congratulations.
Suk Hing Ng,
Congratulations.
Michael Nunn,
Congratulations, Michael. Well done.
Ben Piper,
Ben, congratulations.
Suljan Keska,
Many congratulations.
Lindsay Ross,
Well done, Michael. Congratulations.
Zinat Sattar,
Congratulations.
Ricky Shah,
Many congratulations.
Douglas Sharp,
Well done.
Lock Him Tang,
Many congratulations.
Katie Taplin,
Many congratulations.
Timmy Tong,
Many congratulations.
Andrew Trappett,
And Andrew, many congratulations.
Pang Shun Se,
Many congratulations.
Thomas Vickerton,
Well done. Congratulations.
Adam Wadsworth,
Andrew, congratulations.
Nan Wang,
Many congratulations.
Benjamin Willett,
Well done. Congratulations.
Brian Wright,
Many congratulations. Well done.
Thomas Yuns.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Economics and Economic History, Rimal Patel.
Congratulations. Well done.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Economics and Economic History with a year in Europe, Jennifer Stratton.
Well done, Jennifer. Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Economics and Law, Catherine Bailey.
Congratulations, Catherine. Well done.
Stephen Barham.
Congratulations.
Iona Freer.
Congratulations.
Nicholas Harding.
Many congratulations.
Ruth Hitchman.
Many congratulations.
Sarah Jones.
Congratulations, Sarah. Well done.
Navin Kerai.
Well done. Congratulations.
Manjit Kaka.
Andrew, well done. Congratulations.
Nadia Khan.
Congratulations, Marion.
Jennifer Lees.
Congratulations, Jennifer.
Joanna Lindsay.
Congratulations.
Rachel Mute.
Well done, Rachel. Congratulations.
Hazra Munshi,
Very many congratulations.
Susanna Pierce,
Many congratulations.
Matthew Seymour,
Congratulations, Matthew.
Hardev Singh,
Well done. Congratulations.
Samuel Story.
Many congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Economics and Law with a year in Europe, Atin Anadakat.
Jonathan, congratulations.
Winner of the Felicidad Martinez Purinos Memorial Prize for Law and Economics, Claire Beddingham.
Well done. Congratulations on the prize. Well done.
Nicholas De Freitas,
Congratulations, Nicholas. Well done.
Akshay Dosage.
Very many congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Communications and Society, Jajit Atwal.
Congratulations. Well done.
Joanna Baker,
Many congratulations.
Matthew Biggs,
Congratulations, Matthew. Well done.
Sally Brooks,
Well done, Sally. Congratulations.
Christopher Burling,
Congratulations, Christopher. Well done.
Sarah Chalmers,
Congratulations.
Francis Dodd,
Congratulations, Francis.
Emma Gregory,
Well done.
Anna Hassam,
Congratulations, Anna.
Katie Holland,
Many congratulations.
Gareth Horseman,
Congratulations.
Fan Jiang,
Well done. Congratulations.
Alec Jones,
Congratulations, Alex.
Catherine Mabbett,
Congratulations, Catherine.
Michael Margalit,
Congratulations.
Sarah Mason,
Congratulations, Sarah.
Laura Mastel,
Many congratulations.
Linda McBain,
Well done, Linda. Congratulations.
Claire Mitchell,
Many congratulations.
Elizabeth O'Hare,
Well done, Elizabeth. Congratulations.
Gemma Partridge,
Many congratulations.
Katie Pryor,
Many congratulations.
Edina Rahman,
Well done, Edina. Congratulations.
Kim Ruddock,
Well done, Kim. Congratulations.
Anna Silkstone,
Congratulations, Anna. Well done.
Leanne Skews,
Very many congratulations.
Rory Smith,
Very many congratulations.
Angela Somerville,
Well done, Anna. Congratulations.
Carla Stewart,
Very many congratulations. Well done.
Joanna Strachan,
Well done. Congratulations.
Catherine Tracy,
Congratulations, Catherine.
Sarah Ty,
Congratulations, Sarah.
Matthew Wilk,
Congratulations, Sarah.
Claire Willoughby,
Well done. Congratulations.
Corin Wright,
And Corinne, congratulations.
Hugo Young,
Many congratulations.
for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Economics, Timothy Edwards,
Congratulations.
Rhoda Gakuru,
Congratulations, Rhoda.
Chun Ho,
Many congratulations.
Alexander Whitaker,
Congratulations, Alexander. Well done. Thank you.
and winner of the Faculty Prize, Joy Wong.
Well done. Congratulations. I think you should take a bell for that. Well done.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Business Economics, Philippos Avramides,
Many congratulations. Well done.
Dean Boff,
Congratulations.
Ian Brown,
Well done, congratulations.
Winner of the Arthur Poole Memorial Prize, Joseph Giordano.
Well done. I think you should take a bow for that. Okay.
Gemma Harrison.
Many congratulations.
James Howe.
Congratulations. Well done.
Winner of the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants Prize for Business Economics and the Ronald L. Meek Memorial Prize, Nicola Kendall.
Well done, Nicola. I think you have to take a bow for that one.
Karim Kilicki.
Well done, Karen. Congratulations.
Edward Leaf.
Congratulations.
David Pennant Williams.
Congratulations, David. Well done.
Stelios Stylianides.
Well done. Congratulations.
Wei Xiong Tan.
Many congratulations. Well done.
Georgios Bartholomeos.
Many congratulations. Well done.
Clement Wong.
Well done. Congratulations.
Yin Yi Wu.
Congratulations. Well done.
For the degree of Business Administration Finance, Eva Odampton.
Very many congratulations.
James Lewis.
Well done. Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Supply Chain Management, Mukesh Gopichand Kabiria.
Well done, Nicola. Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Total Quality Management, Abdullah Al Hashemi.
Well done. Congratulations. Well done.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Economics, Mohammed Kamran.
Well done. Last but not least, well done. Congratulations.
Mr. Pro-Vice-Chancellor, I ask you to admit to the several degrees for which they are presented by my faculty those candidates who are absent.
By the authority of Senate, I admit those candidates who are absent to the several degrees for which they are presented. Vice-Chancellor, Lord Mayor, High Sheriff, honorary graduates, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to begin these closing remarks by adding my congratulations and those of the staff of the university to all of you who've received your degrees this morning. In the case of our distinguished honorary graduates, one of the good things about a university is that it can recognise in this way the achievements of those who have contributed to society, whether it be in business, the community, or academia. It is worth reflecting that the knowledge of our honorary graduates this morning gives them weight, but it's their achievements that give them a special lustre. We've not weighed their knowledge, we've noticed their shine. It is their visible achievements that we are celebrating today. Indeed, the university is honoured that Doctors Antony Howard and Peter Preston consented to accept the degrees that we have conferred upon them today, and it gives us great pleasure to welcome them into our academic community. To the graduates in the body of the hall, you have gained your degrees in a different way. You have studied over 1, 3 or more years, and your graduation today represents, in every case, a significant personal success. Along with your family and friends, the staff of the university also share and rejoice in your achievement.
We hope that you have found the educational experience you've had here exciting and uplifting. Education should not be the filling of a bucket, but the lighting of a fire. I know that in their worst moments, some of the staff will have thought of that extraordinary definition of education as the process of casting false pearls before real swine. But they more often will have rejoiced, as Jacob Bronowski did, in the fact that students bring a certain ragamuffin, barefoot irreverence to their studies. You have not been here to worship what is known, but to question it, and we hope you will continue to ask questions throughout your lives. Also, I hope you will remember that imagination is more important than knowledge. So few have imagination that there are 10,000 violinists for every one composer. If you came to us from school and this is your first degree, you can go forward with some comfort. You may have some debts, but a survey of East Midland graduates last year showed that, on average, at around age 35, you can expect to earn about 48% more than your non-graduate peers. And by the age of 45, around 86% more. Some of you may feel at this point, after all of this study, that one of the ultimate advantages of this type of education is simply the coming to the end of it. This feeling was neatly encapsulated by a student colleague of mine, 43 years ago, this week actually, who said, "It is a pity that Latin is no longer taught in school. It removes the infinite pleasure of giving it up." But in the fast-changing world, your studies may not stop with today's degree. Remember the words of Pope John Paul I, who said, "If someone had told me that I would be Pope one day, I would have studied harder." You, of course, may need to expand, revise, or change the direction of your learning. Do remember that this university is a major provider of postgraduate courses, indeed postgraduate distance learning courses, and after the offer, I think they're almost an offer, of Dr. Antony Howard, then we commend that to him as well. As the Vice-Chancellor said, the university greatly values its contacts with its graduates, and we hope that you will stay in touch with us and those with whom you have studied through the Alumni Association. We rely on the support of our graduates in many ways, not least we hope that you have enjoyed your time here and will tell others about the University of Leicester. To the many parents and friends in the hall, we hope you will enjoy the day. Your support and encouragement in all its forms has been of the utmost importance to our students and indeed to us. You will be rightly proud of the successes of those we have awarded degrees to today, and we hope you have wonderful celebrations. University is about all kinds of things, not only study, but also learning from making mistakes. Albert Einstein once commented, "Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new." University is about looking at everything as though you were seeing it for the first time. It is about learning independence, learning to teach yourselves. It is about appreciating other points of view and other cultures. It is about learning tolerance and consideration. This is the very stuff of civilization and of peace. Finally, as you leave the ceremony today, let me tell you that in America and some other parts of the world, this occasion is known not as a degree ceremony, but as commencement. You now enter a new phase in your lives, empowered by your education. You will realize that the hardest thing to learn in life is which bridges to cross and which bridges to burn. You will make choices that impact on your own lives and the lives of others. We wish you every success.
Well, that brings us to the end of the proceedings this morning, but for the purposes of the competition we've now got going between the faculties, who can clap loudest and longest, it is recorded by the people up in the box up there. And last year they informed me on Friday afternoon of the winners. Now, clearly, we want to make sure that the social sciences show really well. So, one more time, for the class of 2003, you could just be in with a chance. I now declare this congregation closed.